Okay, so the situation in Ukraine, um,
Yeah,
it's really something else. And I think, to be honest, a lot of people just have a hard time wrapping their heads around what is actually happening on the ground.
absolutely.
So we're going to attempt to do that today.
Yeah,
We've got a ton of material, and
we do.
hopefully we can give everyone listening a much clearer idea of the situation
I think we can.
and sort of what to look for.
Yeah, where things stand now, how we got here, and what might be next, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's
Okay. It's
it's
wild.
been over 2 years now since Russia's full-on invasion back in February of 2022.
Yeah.
And I don't think anyone saw this coming.
No, no.
And
Really changed everything.
it really has. The ramifications of this are huge, and they're only going to grow.
Oh, yeah.
It's a defining event.
Yeah, I mean, for Europe, this is a whole new security landscape.
Right.
The global economy, we're seeing the effects of this, and I mean, people are really rethinking
The entire idea of what,
an international order, right?
yeah, the rules of the game, right?
Yeah,
So let's get right into it.
let's do it.
So what's the situation on the ground right now? We're recording this April 1st, 2025.
Right, as of today, April 1st, 2025.
So the term we keep hearing is this brutal war of attrition.
Yeah, that's the phrase that keeps popping up.
But what does that actually look like, in this context?
So attrition, right? It means just grinding each other down.
Okay.
Both sides are just bleeding manpower and resources just constantly.
Okay.
And we're talking intense fighting,
Right.
but over very small bits of territory, tiny, tiny gains.
Okay.
And the focus is really just on degrading the enemy's ability to fight, not these huge sweeping maneuvers or anything.
Okay, so rewind a bit.
Mhm.
Remember Ukraine's big counteroffensive in 2023?
Yes.
Didn't quite pan out the way people were hoping.
Didn't go as planned, no.
Right. And then early last year,
Yeah.
2024, Russia starts making some headway, right?
Yeah, that's when they really seem to seize the initiative.
And this battle for Avdiivka,
Avdiivka, yeah.
that was a big deal, right?
Oh, absolutely. That was brutal.
What made it so significant? Like, was it just the territory itself, or was there something more to it?
So it was more than just the land, right? It was incredibly symbolic. Avdiivka had been this kind of Ukrainian stronghold for so long.
Okay.
And the fact that Russia managed to finally capture it, well, sources suggest it was a real blow to Ukrainian morale, forced them to rethink their entire defense strategy in that area.
Makes sense.
And, it also showed just how far Russia was willing to go.
Oh, how so?
They took huge casualties.
Really?
Yeah, but they just kept pushing no matter what.
Wow, that's,
They were determined.
yeah, grim determination.
Yeah.
So it sounds like, keeping up the fight for both sides, that's got to be a challenge.
Oh, without a doubt.
We're hearing about shortages, like serious shortages on both sides.
Absolutely.
Manpower.
Manpower, yeah.
You missed.
Yeah. But, one key difference that keeps coming up, right?
Yeah.
Is Russia just has more of everything.
Exactly. They've got a much bigger population to draw from.
Right.
And they've really shifted their entire economy to churning out weapons and ammo.
So that's a huge...
They can sustain this kind of fight, this grinding war.
much longer.
Much longer, yeah.
So that puts Ukraine in a tough spot.
Oh, without a doubt.
They're trying to strengthen their defenses, but, we've seen these reports of delays in Western aid, which is,
massive delays.
supposed to be helping them.
Yeah, very problematic.
But then there's this new U.S. aid package, $61 billion.
Big money.
Huge. What do you think? Is this a game changer?
It's certainly a lot of money, and I think for Ukraine, it's a huge psychological boost as much as anything.
Money.
But it's not like you just flip a switch and all this equipment magically appears on the front lines,
Right.
There's training, logistics, integrating new systems. All of that takes time, and Russia knows that.
Oh, so they're going to try and exploit that, for sure.
Oh, absolutely. There's a window of opportunity there.
So this is the big question, right?
Yeah.
Can Ukraine hold on?
Yeah, can they maintain their defenses, buy enough time for that aid to really kick in?
And is Russia going to launch a big summer offensive?
Those are the million-dollar questions right now.
It's pretty intense.
It is.
And I think we really need to keep in mind that this is more than just, tanks and territory.
Oh, for sure. This is a humanitarian catastrophe unfolding in real time.
For sources, they don't mince words. This is horrific.
Countless civilians.
Millions displaced.
Millions.
In Mariupol.
Yeah, I mean, that city is just a shell of what it once was. Just a stark reminder.
Devastating.
Yeah.
And the effects, they're not limited to Ukraine's borders.
No.
Ukraine, they're a major grain exporter, And that whole system is disrupted.
Disrupted, yeah.
Food prices, food security, all of that is affected globally.
Absolutely. It's hitting the most vulnerable populations hardest.
Yeah.
And it's creating this ripple effect that's
Yeah.
tough to fully grasp. And energy markets,
Of course.
total chaos, you know?
Yeah. And then geopolitically, we were seeing this whole realignment.
Oh, yeah, major shift.
The West on one side,
Right.
and then you've got countries like China and Iran. They're backing Moscow.
They're supplying weapons, drones, munitions. It's tangible support.
Yeah. So what does this tell us? I mean, what is happening to the global, power balance?
This is the emergence of what some are calling a new axis of authoritarian states.
Okay.
Russia, China, Iran, even North Korea to some extent.
Wow.
They all have their own reasons, their own interests, but they're united by this idea of challenging the existing world order, the U.S.-led system, you know.
So that is huge.
It's a fundamental shift.
Yeah.
And it makes predicting the future even harder because
Whoa.
what does Putin ultimately want? I mean, is this about taking over all of Ukraine or is it about achieving some kind of symbolic victory
Right.
so he can save face back home? It's unclear.
And that makes it hard for Ukraine and their allies to figure out, what their long-term strategy should be, right?
Absolutely. And it's not just Putin. We're seeing cracks within the Western alliance itself.
Oh, really?
Yeah, sources point to things like Hungary stalling EU aid, and we've seen uncertainty before about how long the U.S. will keep up its support, that kind of thing.
So any weakening of that united front.
Oh, that's a huge problem for Ukraine.
Yeah.
It's giving Russia an opening.
And then there's the whole NATO situation.
Yeah, talk about a shakeup.
So Ukraine still wants to join, right?
They do, but it's not on the cards right now. It's a non-starter.
But Finland and Sweden,
Huge shift, right?
huge. I mean, they were neutral forever.
For decades.
And now they're in NATO, which,
Totally reshaping the security map of Europe. Russia's northern border is now basically all NATO territory.
so where does this all go? I mean, what are the potential scenarios going forward?
Okay, so our sources lay out three main possibilities.
Okay, hit me.
So, number one, frozen conflict.
Okay, what does that mean? Paint a picture for me.
Imagine the fighting just stops, right?
Okay.
An uneasy ceasefire, but no real peace treaty, no real resolution to any of the underlying issues.
So like a stalemate.
Yeah, basically a stalemate, but a very tense one, like a powder keg.
So kind of like Korea after 1953.
Exactly. The Korean War never really ended, it just froze, and that's a possibility here too.
Front lines, but no real movement.
Heavily fortified front lines, maybe some skirmishes here and there, but the economies are wrecked, societies are disrupted.
And the threat of it flaring up again is always there.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, what's the second scenario?
Russian breakthrough.
Oh.
This one, it hinges on Western support waning if the aid dries up.
Wait,
It's not impossible.
Could happen.
It could.
Right.
So no more weapons, no more money.
Ukraine's defenses crumble.
Essentially, yeah.
Right.
Russia might be able to push through, take key areas, and really dictate the terms of any kind of peace.
So that's the worst case scenario for Ukraine.
Yeah, it's not good.
And the third possibility.
Ukraine's long game.
Okay, tell me more.
This is about resilience, about wearing Russia down over time.
With the help of the West?
Absolutely. Continued Western support is key here.
Okay.
So it's about grinding it out, resisting, and maybe developing new tactics, new weapons. And over time,
And a balance.
potentially, yeah, but it's a long road.
So not a quick victory.
No, not a quick victory.
Okay, so those are the main paths.
The main paths, yeah, as we see them now.
But our sources also talk about these wildcard factors.
Oh, the wild cards. Yeah, those are the things that could really throw a wrench in the works.
Okay, so first one, Putin himself.
Right. The big question is, how long can he hold on?
Because if he's gone,
Everything changes.
Yeah.
You get a new leader in Russia, new priorities. Maybe they pull out of Ukraine. Who knows?
it's totally unpredictable.
Totally.
And a second wildcard.
This one's about Ukraine, about their ability to hit back, but not in the conventional sense.
We're talking about those drone strikes, right?
Drone strikes, yeah, deep inside Russia, hitting infrastructure, military targets, that kind of thing.
So how much of a game changer is that?
They're not going to win the war with the drones alone, right? But it's about disruption, about making Russia feel insecure even on their own soil.
And showing that Ukraine can hit back even if they're outmatched.
Exactly. It's a psychological game as much as anything.
So at the end of the day, this whole thing, it's a mess, it's a tragedy, and the consequences are massive.
And it's going to have a huge impact on the 21st century. No doubt about it.
It's a defining moment.
Yeah.
And the big question is, will this end with Ukraine still standing? or will it be seen as a victory for aggression?
Right. If Russia gets away with this, what signal does that send to the rest of the world?
Yeah, and the scary thing is, the answer, it's not just being decided on the battlefield.
No, this is about decisions made in Washington, in Brussels, in Moscow, in Beijing,
This is global.
global.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, I'm curious, for everyone listening, what do you think? Of all the factors we've talked about, what's the one thing that you think will ultimately determine how this all plays out?
Yeah. What's the key factor in your mind?
And why?
It's a complex issue with no easy answers, that's for sure.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
Yeah, thanks for listening.